Hello, good afternoon. This is Zack from Destination English. I'm here in Mallorca on holidays, chilling out and making plans to relaunch Destination English for 2020. I will be focusing on business English. And for those of you that really need English for your work, for your profession, for your personal development, then I have a program for you. And I will be running workshops both online and in London over the course of the new year. Number 2, English radio. Now, a couple of years ago I was in Barcelona, or when I was living in Barcelona actually, I did participate in a radio show. We called it English Radio, and I had my good friend Ajit who was filming and recording, and we were with Abby in the studio talking about English, about the problems that learners have, about phrasal verbs, about grammar, and we basically invented a little show that was informative, educational and entertaining. And I would like to relaunch that in 2020, English Radio. So keep an eye out for those videos. We're going to be posting them. Do subscribe down here and click the bell for notifications so that you are informed of when we post new videos. Okay, number 3. I would like to stress the importance of correction. Now, this is happening regularly. I meet people that speak very good English, actually pretty fluent, but they're making some very elementary mistakes, like the third person and tenses, irregular verbs. These are the most common mistakes, and they're not really acceptable, especially if you're going for an interview. And if you do have a high level of English, of understanding, then why not have your spoken English to the same level? I can pretty much fix 80–90% of issues in about 10 hours of conversation class with intensive correction. And now we can do this using Skype or Zoom. And what I do is I do an interview basically. I have a lot of questions. Maybe we use your LinkedIn profile for me to basically question you about your education, your background, your hobbies, and maybe your current position, your responsibilities and your duties, for example. And in the process of you answering, I will correct you. And at the same time, I will write your corrections. So you can just stop, think about what you're going to say, and focus on that. And the corrections I will be correcting verbally, and I will be creating a record of the written corrections, which I can post to you after the lesson. So this is really useful because, you know, as time goes on, you'll start to correct yourself. And sometimes I did hear that you need to be corrected on something about 16 times before it actually sinks in and you start to correct yourself. And when you start doing that, then I know I'm doing my job. So correction is absolutely essential if you want to get in front of a CEO and do well in an interview, because they are merciless. They will just say, this person doesn't speak English, if you make a basic or elementary mistake. So my job is to fix that and get you in front of the CEO with an opportunity to get that job that you deserve. So number 4 is business English. Why business English? Well, for a start, general English is great for a lower level. I would not teach business English to an elementary student. I think it's very important that if you are a business person but you don't have the very general elementary English, that you go away and you do a general English course just to give yourself a foundation, because business English is a very different thing. There's a very different terminology involved. So without general English, it would be very difficult to jump into business English. So my advice, go first for a general English course, do 3 months, and then come to me and we'll look at business English for your job, for your industry, and I will create a program around that. Okay, number 5, testimonials. Now on my website you'll see some testimonials, and these are from students that have been with me for 2 to 3 years. So these are professionals who have invested in their ongoing education, and the fact that they are still having classes means that they are really motivated and they're already successful with the services that I've offered, and they're always looking to improve. We can always be better. I can always be better, and I would have mentors as well And I think it's really important to have not just one mentor, more than one, a couple, because you can always have a different perspective. But online classes is something, there's no excuse not to do an online class. And the other thing I do say is that you should try to incorporate English into your life, not just the lesson and then you're waiting for the next week. Try to listen to radio, watch Netflix. I will give you a load of resources. I create a Dropbox file for us where you can download those materials, read them, prepare them offline, and so when we do have the next lesson, we've got a lot to talk about and you've already got the background information. Number 6, courses. The main courses I'm going to focus on are business English. There will also be conversation. So if you don't want to take notes, you don't want to write, you don't want to study, you don't have time for that, but you just need to work on your conversation and speaking, then I have a course for that. A lot of subjects that you will have some experience about, interesting subjects, social issues like crime, and we can basically fix your speaking with a conversation class. Number 7, presentation skills. Now this is going to be really super crucial for those of you that are lecturing, those of you that are in business meetings or conferences. What I can offer as a service is to help you with your presentation. I presume you have a PowerPoint slideshow, 60, 70 slides. We can whittle them down to about 20 slides. You go through your presentation, I help you with corrections, find alternative phrasing, help you with the rhythm of the language, the speed of the presentation. If you know how many minutes you have to deliver 20 slides, we can work on that until you feel comfortable and get you really in shape to present to a professional audience. Number 8, the importance of pronunciation. Now I can't overstress this, especially with people that I consider fluent in English. When people start leaning in, it probably means that they don't understand you. They can understand what you're trying to say, but they missed a word or 2 words that were mispronounced. So what I do is I have a course for the introduction of phonetics. And usually there are about 15 issues that people have with speaking English. And 14 of them can pretty much be fixed just by learning the basic phonetic alphabet. So I will diagnose you, and then we will have the same passage that you can read again and again and again with the correction, and you can start to write your little symbols underneath the particular letters where there are issues, and I will correct you until we get that same passage just right. Number 9, workshops in London. I'm going to be running some regular workshops in London, basically speaking skills. These will be free workshops for you to come along in a group, and we will discuss some common subjects, some issues, possibly of what's going on with London, what's happening with Brexit, something that concerns a lot of us, and you'll be getting the correction, and I will be also showing you some other tips and tricks to help you improve your English today. Number 10. Okay, I'm going to be reviewing some apps and tools from the internet that are going to help you with your learning of English. For example, Grammarly. That's a tool that I actually use myself as well. So I will be doing some reviews, going a little bit more deeply of how you can use these tools, what tools you really need to have on your computer and on your phone.